Welcome to the Talk and Chatter experience powered by Gasoline Alley Harley Davidson, Pirelli Motorcycle Tyres Australia and TCX Boots. Listeners of the Talk and Chatter experience have the chance to win one of two double passes to the World Superbike Championship at Phillip Island in November. To be in the running to win the double pass, you must follow the Talk and Chatter page, follow the Pirelli Moto Oz page, and tag a friend in the comments below the post that we made on Friday about motorcycle tyres. The winners will be randomly selected on October 30. My guest today is Casuarina Smith, a motorcycle enthusiast and a dangerous goods truck driver from South Australia. Casuarina is a long-time friend of the show and since our recording has started her own page, Truckin' with CJ, that highlights her time in the transport industry. We hope that you enjoy the show. If you like our content, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Really hope you enjoy the show. Give us a rating and a review on iTunes and we'll be back with another one soon. Welcome, Casuarina Smith.
Thank you.
How's things?
Yeah, great. I'm having the best week.
You've literally just been on the gas for a week.
Literally.
Drove up from South Australia. Did dust hustle.
Yeah.
Rode your Harley.
Yeah, a few times.
Mountain bikes with us.
Yeah.
Dirt biking.
A lot.
What a week.
The dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Casuarina Smith?
Oh, just a normal chick, I guess. Just love riding bikes and surrounding myself with people that make me happy and just trying to chase the good times, I guess.
Is that what the goal was of this week?
Yeah. Yeah, just a bit of a reset, I think.
So explain your work to people.
Yeah.
Like you've got a pretty hectic job.
Yeah.
To get away from that must be a huge thing sometimes, just to decompress from your work.
Yeah.
What is it you do?
I drive fuel tankers.
Yeah.
So yeah, truck driver, but now drive semis and road trains, carting diesel, petrol. Yeah.
How did that all begin?
I started my trucking time about 6 years ago. Went from being an insurance broker and just needed a change. So I went and drove concrete trucks, did that for a few years. And then I went into truck and dog tippers. And then last year my dad did it previously. I've kind of followed his footsteps. And his boss was like, "We want your daughter." And I was like, "Nah." Yeah. I've worked so hard to get this truck and dog combination because it's quite technical. And I was very proud of it. And I'm like, "Nah, Dad, I'm staying." And he's like, "No, this is better work-life balance. You're burning out." I was working 6 days a week, every week, just to, I couldn't really take any time off. And so now I've gone into this in December and it's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
There's times I've been like, why have I done this? But no, I'm really happy now. So yeah, I've got my dangerous goods license, a whole lot of other ones, and now I've got my unrestricted multi-combination, so I can drive road trains. And it's good. It is really good. I'm very fortunate.
What's the industry like?
Very regulated. There's a lot of red tape, but it has to be because it's so dangerous. It's just a lot to learn. Like there's a truck driving part, and that's easy. Like, you can do that with your eyes closed. There's more like the regulated of not mixing diesel and fuel and stuff like that. But in general, I'm treated really well. I feel like I'm really supported. I think that's what I like about fuel, is that it doesn't matter what company you work for, everyone supports you because everyone wants to see each other get home.
Yep.
And there's no cowboys because we just can't be like that. So no, it's a good industry.
So it's dangerous goods.
Yes.
How big is the risk in dangerous goods?
My boss says it's not that dangerous because there's so many procedures.
Yep,
if you follow the protocols, the procedures, you're right. I don't even think of it anymore, if I'm honest. It just feels like I'm carting water because I think you have to have that mentality a little bit because otherwise you can get a bit overwhelmed.
Because if you're say you got a P-double, for instance, how many litres?
So a single semi-trailer is about 33,000 litres. The most I've carted is 80 something thousand litres, and that's in an AB triple.
Wow. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much does it, say for the truck, how much does it affect it each time you put a trailer on?
Yeah.
What's the feel?
They track really well.
Right.
So if you've got a full trailer, it pulls very nicely. It's more when it's half full because then you'll have the slosh.
Yep.
So when I first started driving them, I actually had motion sickness because
Really?
you're sitting at the lights and you're like rocking. You don't even realise. But just no jamming of the brakes.
Yeah.
Because then that's when you'll get the push. But I haven't noticed it really, if I'm honest.
So is it like that feeling on a ferry, like a boat? Just a slight.
Yeah.
True.
But
yeah.
now I don't notice it.
Yep.
But at the beginning, I was like, why am I feeling crook? And it was just that. Whereas like before I drove with rubble or sand.
Yep.
And so there was no movement.
It's just dead weight, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot safer.
what was your first experience of reversing a dog trailer? Was it bad?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So backing a normal trailer,
Yep.
you put say you want the trailer to go to your right, you put your left hand down, kick it, and then chase it, right?
Yep.
And Dad's like, okay, we're going in on a Sunday. Out of hours, we got approved. And he's like, okay, try and back it. And the thing just gets away from you because everything's backwards.
Yes.
So if you want the trailer to go to your right hand down, left hand down, if that makes sense. I don't know.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so just shocking because you're waiting to see something move and then you're like, oh, and then I'll chase it. But you can't because once it's moved, you can't chase it.
It's all over.
It's all over. So you got to anticipate what it's going to do before it does.
Yep. But
it's crazy that seat time, you start to do it and you just know. But yeah, just back and forth in a line. Dad's like just hopped out the truck and walked away.
It's like from a very distant memory now. It's over 20 years, but I started my diesel fitting apprenticeship.
Oh,
right?
cool. Okay.
So I worked at Borrell.
Oh, no way. I worked at Hanson.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So 17, 18, 19, sort of that era.
Yeah.
First thing you got to do, like you're out of school, you're driving your little car to school, you're going to have to learn to reverse a dog trailer. Full of confidence at 17. It's real hard.
It's so
no
hard.
locking pin. Take your locking pin out.
Oh, yeah, no
you can't
I was
do
never
this.
allowed
Yep.
to use.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, let me do that. And no, you've got to learn it.
It's so much better not to, though, because I
Yeah.
feel like that's cheating as well.
Yes.
And then what happens if you don't have one that you can lock it?
Correct. Yeah, it's a fallback. It's one of those things if you really desperately need it. But that first experience to drive one of those, I remember it, and like I end up getting it. It's fine. Like
Yeah, you do eventually, but it's embarrassing.
it's really embarrassing.
And you get the hot sweats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at that time too, like the clutch, everything feels like it's going to explode because you're like, like shaking through the parking lot.
I'll have to admit mine was automatic.
That's all right. Yeah. Have you got the manual? The
Yeah,
road
unrestricted.
range? Full unrestricted.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a huge license. How long did that take you?
A day to get the license.
Just to build up through the process. So,
So I was living in Darwin and
geez, you've got around in travel. Like you've done so many different spots. And everyone that's listening, this is going to be a bit of a different sort of podcast. So
yeah,
it's a bit of
I'm a
travel.
nobody.
It's a bit of travel. It's a bit of motorcycling. It's a bit of trucking,
Yeah.
which is something I'm really interested in. So
Yeah, cool. Well,
Yeah.
I get excited to talk about it.
yeah, cool. So how did you go? How's the process of going through that?
Yeah, so I was living in Darwin and I just always wanted to have my truck license. I feel like you can never be too overqualified. It's always good to have things, and I never want to be a person that can't help out. So if you got your license, you can hop in and just help someone out, Anyways, so I said to my parents, can I have some cash for my Christmas present or birthday so I can go get my HR?
Yeah.
So I did that. My ex-boyfriend was not happy about this, by the way.
Why?
We can get into that later.
Yeah, we will. We'll touch on that.
Yeah. And so I did my HR up in Darwin with a guy called Glenn that ran the motocross track, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And yes, I did the HR. That was in a prime. It was an experience up the Stuart Highway with the road trains going past, trying to get the gears and
Yep.
hot sweats again.
Yeah.
And then so that later on, years down the track, got me into the Aggies, into the concrete trucks.
Yep.
And then I think it was like 2009, just before the pandemic, I went up to Mildura and did a 2-day course to get my heavy combination. So
Yep.
that's a semi, one trailer. So that was a 2-day course. One day is just theory, and then the second day is the driving.
Yep.
But the good thing is once you've done a road ranger, so say HR, all the rest of them can be synchro mesh or automatics, and you're still unrestricted.
Yep.
Thank God.
Yes.
Because once you're starting to worry about all your trailers, I didn't want to have to be worrying about grinding gears, because once you grind a gear, you're done. So HC was, 2 days, and then I went in March and got my road train license, which was a huge thing for me because personally that's been a massive goal for me since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something as a kid that you had a goal or a vision of doing?
Yeah, I don't know if I wanted to be a truck driver full time.
Yep.
I just always thought that they were so cool, and I always just want to give things a go. So I think that's always just been a goal to be able to do it.
Yep.
But yeah, the good thing with the road train is that it was just a one day. But it's funny because I rocked up and the instructor was a bit off me. You know, you could just tell straight away.
Right.
And I was like, oh, here we go. And he's went over the truck and tried to show me things. And I'm thinking, I know all this already, but okay, like just be very polite. We get in the truck, he goes, oh, can you just reverse this B double? I just want to see where you're at. And I did it, and he goes, oh, all right, I guess we'll just go out on the road then. And I was like, that was weird. And then at the end of the day, when I got signed off, the only point I lost in the whole test was that I didn't put my hazard lights on when I reversed.
Right.
And I'm like, are you serious? You're going to dock me a point? Like, it could have, but anyway, no one can have full points. But I said to him, I'm like, how did you feel when you seen me rock up this morning? And he goes, I'll be honest, I was not very happy. I thought, oh, here we go. And he goes, I had to go and eat my words at morning tea because you proved me, like, I completely judged you and I'm really sorry. So that was really sweet that he admitted it, but sad as well that he thought that in the first place. But no,
What did that come from, do you reckon? Had he had that? Do you reckon he's had that experience in the past, or do you reckon?
Yeah, well, maybe I just don't look like the typical person. I don't know.
Are you the typical truck driver that drives road trains? Like, are you?
I haven't seen anyone like me.
You haven't? Okay, yeah. What's a week for you in the truck?
Oh, okay. So it's weird now. I do shift work.
Right.
My roster is very bizarre. It's a combination of days and nights. But on the calendar week, it's 4 days.
Yep.
It might be like 2 days, 2 nights, or it's very complicated to explain it. But at least now I finally have some quality of life, work-life balance. I feel like I actually have weekends. I only work 1 out of 3. Really early starts, 3 a.m. alarm on a day shift.
Yep. 12-hour day or 10s?
Yeah, minimum 10.
Minimum 10s, yep.
Yeah. And then night shift, I start about 3 in the afternoon and work until whenever the work's done. So, you know, you go to work, you get a run of what all the loads you're going to do.
Yep.
And it's just, you have no idea how long that's going to take. You just get it done. But after this holiday, I'll be probably driving the road train a lot more. And that's going to be some big hours and big trips. So I'm excited to get out of town because towns don't make me very happy.
I can imagine that. Where does it take you now currently? Like where say you get in the road train, where will you drive from? And you're from Adelaide or South
Adelaide.
Wales?
Yep.
So where will you go?
So the company I work for, we just go straight north, Port Augusta to fill some trains, like a big tank, or Cooper Pedy
Yep.
to the big Shell, or now we're starting to do Alice Springs.
Wow.
So I hope I don't get that for a while.
How come?
It's a 3-day trip, and you're parked on the side of the road. I don't know. I'm realistic of taking steps.
Yes.
So I want to get confident with doing this step and then that. And if I get asked, I'll never knock it back. Of course, I'll be like, yeah. I never want to look like I'm weak or that I am less than or less capable than anyone else. But I'm also realistic of trying to just take the steps that you're meant to and not try and rush a process, especially in fuel because it's so dangerous.
Yep.
There's no risk taking at all with that.
So when you're travelling, for instance, say you're doing Alice Springs, do you literally just pull up at... I haven't been out there. Is there...
You haven't been to Alice?
No.
You haven't been to Finke?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't. So been to a few different places, but never been there. So,
Okay, well, next year, Finke.
I've said that for
Let's
a few
put it
years.
in. Yeah.
I've said that for a few years, and I don't like to put things out there and not do them, and I have.
Yeah,
so,
but once you say that you're going to do it, then
yep,
you have to do it.
I have to do it.
That's
so
what I do.
I've got to do it. So where do you stop if you're in the truck?
Oh, with that one, I can't tell you. I haven't done it.
Yeah.
My
about...
my dad's done it. I think we run logbooks, so
Yep.
you just got to try and get as far as you can and then just pull into a truck stop, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
Cooper Pedy's all right because you go up to Cooper Pedy, unload, stay the night, and then drive back empty the next day.
Right. Yep.
So you just stay in the servo, I guess. This is the next step for me, and I'm not quite there yet.
Yep.
At the moment, what I've been doing with the semi work is just kind of local, just filling up servos locally, and stuff like that.
How long does it take you to servo?
Less than an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, so when we're filling at the gantry, so we have to go into a gantry to fill the tank, we can put 3 arms on at a time, and they're filling up about 2,000 litres per minute per arm.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah, so no one's allowed to talk to you.
Yep.
It's very strict. You have to be really on. And also a tank has 6 compartments, 5 or 6 compartments, and in each compartment can have a different type of fuel. Yep. So you need to make sure that all your labels are right. There's a lot of procedures, but yeah, so and it depends because you can be discharging at a servo with 2 hoses, and it's all gravity fed. So it depends on what it's venting like as well. If the vents are really good, you'll rush it in nice and quick. And then other ones you do, like if you go to a farm, it's one hose at a time, and that's pumped. So you can kind of manually deal with how fast that's going.
Control it sort of thing.
Yeah, and I love the farm work.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you rock up with a truck. Mm-hmm. They have a huge tank, obviously, somewhere on.
Yeah, it's good if they've got a big tank. Sometimes you rock up to it and they've got lots of little ones all over the place.
Oh, geez.
And it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yep.
Yeah, so you need to go and I hope I'm not boring you, but...
No, I'm interested.
So if you go to a farm, you identify where the tanks are, you go and you open up, there would be a dip in there, like a manual dip, pull it up, figure out what the ullage is. Yep. So how much fuel is in there, what's the full tank. It's a lot of mathematics and you need to get it spot on because if you get your calculations wrong, you'll overfill and you don't want to spill at all. You don't want any product to ground. So, yeah, and then you just figure that out and hook her up and in you go.
Now, with your job having protocols and things that are quite strict, you go to motorbike events and stuff. You see people filling up things everywhere. Do you get extra, not cautious about it, but does it make you look more? When people are filling things up.
That's a really good question.
You know, there's fuel going everywhere and, you know, sometimes there's fuel in people's header pipes, you know, like just filling and
yeah, with the
and
heat
stuff.
And the like static.
Do you look at it more?
Nah.
No?
Yeah, when I'm not at work, I'm not at work.
Because like I got mates that are builders and they can't walk into a house without looking and going, oh, that's out of shape. All that, you know what I mean? Like that's your job. I probably I'm heaps more aware of servos. Yeah, right.
When I drive in, I'm like, oh, where's the fuel points? Or how does the truck get into here?
Yep.
Can you fit a semi? Or like, you know, and then when I'm driving past now and seeing people discharging, like, oh, what do you know?
Yep.
So definitely more aware of that, but maybe, I don't know about at the track. Oh, yeah, seeing jerry cans out in the sun.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
Yeah, gas bottles on front seats, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's the, what are you driving? What's your truck?
I don't have my own.
What are you in at the moment? Like, what do you drive mostly?
Volvo.
Okay.
Yeah, DAFs.
Yep.
We've got a brand new Man that's a road train truck.
Nice.
And we've got a couple Kenworths as well.
They all autos now?
The 608 is a manual, like a Road Ranger.
Yep.
But pretty much everything else is an auto.
Wow.
Which, for me, being lazy, that's perfect.
Well, it makes sense now. You know, the roads are so busy.
Yeah, and also you're eliminating a risk. Does that make sense? Like, for me personally, like I understand the ego side of wanting to drive a Road Ranger.
Yep.
And I've fallen victim to that a little bit. Because if that makes sense. But with an auto, like at least that's one less thing you need to think about. You have to worry about all the trailers. Are they going to get around the corner without hitting curb? What's this person doing that just pulled in front of me? Like, if you have gears, you need to manually change them down to pull you back.
Correct.
You can't just slam on your brakes because then...
Yeah. Nice reenactment.
Oh, God, that's so embarrassing. But...
There's a thumbnail.
But yeah. I think that it's probably safer. It depends on who you talk to, though.
I do, and I also see the merit in moving parts. Mm-hmm. You know, like the wear and that of clutches, gearboxes, because of certain drivers too. Mm-hmm. And like in that small time I did that for that time, you could see people that were heavy on their equipment through clutches and stuff like that. Like they're durable equipment, but through an auto, there's no mistakes.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, it's a few less things you need to worry about.
Yeah, so you should be wearing less parts, which is
Yeah.
cheaper for everyone at some point.
Yeah, I had to test my lack of skills at Finke, actually.
Right.
Because I got the opportunity to drive a semi up there for one of my mates.
Yep.
And that had a Road Ranger in it. Billy was incredible to give me that opportunity.
So is that Billy Geddes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, absolute legend. Shout out, Billy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, it tested me a lot. But I took my dad with me to Finke this year to give him the experience. And Dad had to sit in the passenger seat. Shout out, Dad. I know that he wasn't very happy about that. But
Wow.
I was like, Dad, like, you have the chance to be my mentor. Please, like, let's work on this together. Like, I understand it's not a 10-minute thing I can learn, but I'm so determined to get this skill. And when there's no trucks around to drive to practice, you know, how do you learn? So
Correct.
we had a few moments where I was in the middle of Alice with the hazard lights on, having a panic attack because I just couldn't find a gear.
Yep.
But we got there in the end. Yeah.
Is your dad a truck driver for life?
No, we're farmers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so 5 generations of cherry orchards in the Adelaide Hills.
True.
Yeah.
So have you still got that in the family?
Yeah,
or-
that's where I live now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So when did he do the truck thing?
So I think growing up, Dad always drove on the off seasons just
Yep.
for a bit of extra cash, carting spuds and
So Australian.
yeah,
Spuds.
potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, so we, as a kid, I got to go in the truck with him occasionally,
Yep.
which I like loved it because that gave me the love for it because of the smells and the sensory.
Yep.
Quite often I'd sleep the whole trip and apparently wake up at the end of the trip like, are we there yet? And I was like, I've been and gone. We're back at the yard. But obviously I felt very comfortable in trucks always. So, yeah, but cherry orchards is mainly the thing. And then when my parents got divorced, Dad needed to sell some land.
Yep.
And being a small orchards don't make any money anymore.
Right.
So that's when he went full-time trucking.
So what happened in the cherry orchards? Do they just do you
Yep.
still sell product? Or?
Yeah, we have people come pick their own cherries more so now.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we're just kind of holding on to it. So when Dad retires, he's got like the land that he can then tinker around on. Yeah, we used to have a lot of cherries, pears, apples. Rhubarb was a really big thing.
Wow.
Grew violets.
What a cool spot to grow up.
Oh, so privileged. I'm super aware of the privilege that I have. Where we are is only like 20 minutes from the centre of the city.
Wow.
But you go up that hill and you feel like you're miles away.
Do you like living in South Australia?
Oh.
Don't say it this week because you've just been on holidays in Queensland and it's been like an awesome week. But
Yeah.
do you like living down there?
Yeah.
Good place.
I like it. I'm just in a place of I'm very fortunate of where I live, being back on the farm.
Right.
If I wasn't there, I don't know if I'd be there. I live in my grandma's house, which is the original homestead that my dad grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma has passed now, and then I just rent the other 2 rooms out.
Yep.
But the fact that I have my dad and my stepmom, sister next door, my dog has 20 acres to run around on, like that aspect I like of it.
Yep.
I can keep my overheads low. But the East Coast is calling me a lot. So I'm open to whatever. This is the longest I've stayed still for quite some time.
And the truck driving
Yeah.
is such an open door to
Yeah.
good truck drivers, isn't it? You
Yeah,
know, there's
well,
jobs everywhere.
the industry, we're in a lot of trouble because it's a very aging demographic.
Yes.
We're already feeling the pinch. We have one of our guys just retired like a couple of weeks ago, and then we have multiple others in our small, tiny team retiring in the next 12 months. So where do we get new drivers? I'm pretty passionate about this because the industry doesn't allow children to come in trucks anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I can understand fuel. You can't come in a truck with me unless you have your dangerous goods license.
As a passenger?
Yeah, no one. So, but, you know, the only reason I or anyone I know that drives trucks is because our uncle or our dad or our grandpa or someone
Yep.
took them as a kid. So you got to experience it. How does someone get into trucking if they have no prior connections or experience?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind maybe getting into schools and talking to kids and saying like, look, trucking is actually quite a what am I trying to say? Like a
prosperous?
Yeah,
Yep.
that word.
That's a good one.
I'm financially secure because of this decision to become a truck driver. Like it's
Yep.
not a dead end job, like which a lot of my sister and I's ex-partners and stuff said to us. Don't become a truck driver. You're not going to get anywhere with that. It's actually been the complete opposite for us.
Yep.
So, it's a bit of an issue with the ageing demographic for sure.
So what's going to change that is education,
I think so.
isn't it?
Yeah, we just got to get younger people an experience. Maybe if we can try and do some mentorship or some kind of apprenticeship where, because you're not going to, most insurance companies won't cover you if you're in your early 20s or anything. You're going to need some kind of experience. So how can we get the steps to get kids or like younger people into it? So maybe just working in a yard and then maybe like, not earn that much money, but spend a couple of days in the passenger seat and just learn it. And it's a very expensive process to get your licenses. So just to go from a HC heavy combination to a multiple combination cost me personally nearly $2,000. That's just a 1 day test.
And a lot of people have got those licenses that aren't doing it for a living. So it's expensive, isn't it?
So no young person's going to be like, I'm going to leave my career and go fork out X amount of thousands of dollars to get a license that when am I even going to be able to get a job?
Yeah.
Because quite often people won't employ you unless you've got prior experience. How do you get experience if no one gives you a chance?
This is the real hard part of that, and heavy equipment. In my early 20s, it was something I looked at. I was like, I'd love to get into driving heavy equipment after coming out of that. But no one would employ you because you don't have anything. And it's like, how am I going to get into this without buying my own machine, which I can't do?
Yeah.
I can maybe pay for my tickets.
Yeah.
But the ticket doesn't have the pathway for that next step. That's the part that needs the creation, doesn't it?
Yeah, and a lot of businesses are so flat out. They can't afford to have you muck up.
No.
Like, I've been very spoiled with the opportunities I've got to get to where I am. So getting into trucks is because my dad and my sister both already worked there.
Yep.
So they knew that we'd be hard workers and gave us a chance. But if I didn't have that, I don't even know how I would have got into it.
It's an interesting thing. I've heard of that. Like a couple of my friends drive trucks up here for Hanson as well.
Oh, really? No way.
And they're like saying like, you can get a job every day of the week at the moment. Like there's just people finishing. I never thought it'd be the retiring and stuff, but it makes perfect sense. Listen to a conversation in the States, right, about trucking over there and the invention of electric trucks and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Now, I want to pick your brain on this.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about, you've travelled over there, East Coast, and I'll talk so we take the camera off you while you're sculling your drink.
Sorry.
No, it's good. But yeah, they have East Coast, West Coast, big open highways, and the invention of an electric truck, nearly somewhat driverless. Very hard to do here. What's your thoughts on that? Do you have a thought on that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think our roads aren't built for that.
Here.
No. Not yet. Never say never.
The big interconnectors in the States, East Coast, West Coast.
Oh, they're crazy.
You can do it there.
Yeah, I reckon. But still, if you're going to have a driverless truck, you'd need all the cars to be on the same path, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because when we're driving, we're not just driving for us. I think with motorbike riding, it all kind of comes in because you're driving for everyone else around you. So when you're driving, you're not just like, oh yeah, you're actually watching everyone in your mirrors. What's this person doing that's coming beside me or underneath me and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm excited for the electric side of it, but also doing my dangerous goods license, we learnt a lot about lithium.
Yes.
That's what they're using in?
Correct.
Yeah, and it's actually terrifying. I was sitting there like, oh, dangerous goods license is terrifying at the best of times, but all these batteries are that. And the big issue with that is that under impact in crashes, they explode, right?
Can, yeah.
Yeah, I think I can't.
It's very hard to put out. They're hard to extinguish.
That's okay. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, once it's, very hot. So that was a bit shocking because all of these batteries are going to be like that. So how do we deal with all of that? But I'm not smart and those people are, so I'm sure they've got it all figured out.
Yeah, I was intrigued by it because I was like, the talk of it was, I think there's about 500,000 truck drivers or something in the US.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, if we can do this for interconnectors, we can basically, we'll have the like road trains effectively.
Mm-hmm.
They drive smaller trucks than us here.
They do,
but so they have road trains like nearly connected, like so close on a grid pretty much. The trailer behind or the truck behind is in like a slipstream, and then they can just.
So they just have their own lane on the highways?
Don't know, but you can look at the things like truck stops.
Yeah.
Driverless. Who like you go to a truck stop in the States.
Yeah.
It's trucks.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It thrives on trucks.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know what happens. I as someone that's a truck driver, I just wanted to ask you what you thought of that. But yeah, very, very interesting.
Well, look, if people aren't going to start working hard for their money and be willing to do the hours, then that's the only option they're going to have.
Yeah.
We all adapt and evolve, and every industry is, so we just got to kind of go with the times.
Yep.
But you think about that, just sounds like a train to me.
It does.
So it'd just be a train on the road.
A road train. But yeah, it does. It does sound like that. So an electric road train, you know. So
Yeah.
with the mobility to maybe get off, you know, a train.
We're still going to need
assigned to
truck
tracks.
drivers or delivery people.
For sure.
Yeah. So there's still going to be. I'm excited to see what happens though. But after driving from Adelaide to the Gold Coast the other day, I don't know about electric trucks on those roads.
Not a chance.
No.
We had the conversation last night actually. 31st of October, 1st November, 2nd of November. There's 3 track days on at the Bend, at Tailem Bend.
Oh, yes.
And we're talking about it, and we're looking it up. It's 1,930 kilometres from here.
Yeah.
So, like, how can we do this? How can we do it efficiently? And
Yeah.
have you driven it? Have you driven it? 2 of us. One was a racer that's currently racing. No. Have you done it? No. Like, we don't even know where we're going. Like, we got sat nav and that. Like, you've just done it.
Yeah,
but
it's easy.
the roads are pretty rough out there sometimes, and we're just having this huge conversation, like thinking of what's it like. You can't send an electric truck driverless on that road.
No, they're
Stuff, no?
they're so bumpy. There's potholes everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you'll be right. Drive.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be right.
What's the worst that can
I
happen?
did it by myself.
Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Okay.
Where did motorcycles start for you?
When I was really young.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I just had a little Honda trike.
Yep.
Yeah. It was my grandpa's.
What, an
and-
electric, not electric, excuse me, like a motorised Honda.
Yeah, like a little 70.
ATC 70.
Yeah.
Damn.
Still got it.
Have ya?
Yeah.
Cool bike.
Yeah, it's killer. My cousin's actually restoring it for us right now.
Awesome.
And it's so cool. Yeah. So I've got a photo of me as a baby on that with my dad.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so cute. And yeah, I guess I just always loved riding around home. Didn't really realize that I could do it anywhere else. And then my neighbour had a little Pee-wee 80.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I was like, Dad, I hopped on that and I'm like, Dad, I want one.
What sort of age?
I was primary school.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and so we bought that and about 2 weeks later I was like, oh, this is too slow. And then we got a little XR100. Yep. So I did ballet from the age of 3. Like ballet was everything.
Yep.
And I remember I'd always come home from ballet, go into my bedroom, like get changed, like climb out of my window, hop on the motorbike and ride off. And my nana would lose it. Where's my little princess gone?
Wow.
But I just always loved riding.
Yep.
I didn't realize it could be a sport. It just was this fun thing that I did.
Yep.
So I did that. And then when I was in high school, by that stage I transferred from ballet to figure skating. So I used to skate multiple times a week. So from school, I'd catch a certain bus to the ice arena, and the boys on that bus raced motocross.
Right.
And we got talking, and I said I loved bikes, and they're like, "Oh, you should come to a race." I was like, "Oh, okay." And as soon as I got to that, it was at South Coast Motocross Club down in Adelaide. And I remember rocking up. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm home! Like I want to do this." I don't know. There's something about it.
Yep.
So then someone we knew had a 125, a YZ125, an 01 model. And I was like, Dad, I want this bike. So I went from a XR100 to a YZ125.
That's a jump.
We didn't have enough money, so we did a payment plan.
Yeah.
Started riding that, and then slowly like went out to like a few little girl rides days and stuff like that. And then I was like, I want to race motocross. And Dad's like, absolutely not. You know,
Just not happening.
not happening.
Wow.
So straight out of and I was obsessed with bikes the whole time. Like all my school book covers were pictures of motorbikes. I read all the magazines. It was something that made me really happy. And so straight out of school, I went and got my first job at Peter Stevens Motorcycles in Adelaide.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, well, Dad, guess what? I'm racing. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. Oh, sorry. Getting excited. And yes, I started racing through that and went from there.
What was it like you're sort of 16 and a half, 17 when you get out of school?
Yeah, I was 17, yeah.
17? What's it like working in a bike shop at 17? Did you learn heaps?
I grew up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was very young. Yeah,
Like
very innocent.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah. But I loved it for the social aspect. I love people. So I probably excelled in that aspect.
Yep.
Made no money.
Yeah.
And anything I did earn, I put straight into racing.
So you went and raced that
Yep.
125?
Yep.
How'd you go?
Everyone laughed at me.
Why?
Oh, like that bike's a hunk of shit. Like, because I was the only girl on a 125 two-stroke. Everyone else was on brand new 250s that their dad
Yep.
or boyfriend had bought them.
Yep.
And I was out there I would drive a Subaru Bromby out there with this old 125 and foul plugs left, right and centre. I got real good at the wire brush, getting them out,
Yep.
wire brush, because my family wouldn't come to any of my races.
Well, they just
No, they were like, nah.
just didn't agree with it.
You'll waste too much money in this sport.
Okay.
Didn't want to see me get hurt. But after a season where I just flat out, they're like, oh, and Dad's like, well, you're obviously not going to quit, so I may as well join you. So he went and bought the same bike and we started racing together.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
which was really sweet because my
Yep.
dad rode and raced when he was younger.
Right.
But he didn't want me to race because he didn't want me to waste all my money, which I did. No regrets.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah.
Do you have the Brumby still?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. My cousin does next door.
Look out, Hewan. Have you seen his one?
Yeah. We've got a little white one. Yeah, that was my grandpa's as well.
Really? So you were rocking up to race meetings, Brumby, YZ125 in
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah. All the other girls, brand new gear, brand new bikes. Daddy's helping them out.
How did you compete?
Not very fast.
Enjoy it?
Oh my God, I loved it. Yeah. And like the community was fantastic. Everyone was so supportive of me and
Yep.
I'm still really good mates with everyone I raced with.
Wow.
Yeah.
From there, like obviously different sorts of racing along the way and
Yeah.
that. Now you're doing enduro work, like riding and stuff.
Yeah.
Where did you sort of find all your people? Like how did you find your tribe, I guess?
Just by being myself, putting myself in situations to meet people.
Yep. You ever been shy?
No.
No.
My family say they don't know where I got my personality from.
Is your family quiet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. They all are very quiet. Oh, yeah. Is it time?
It is.
It's 12 o'clock somewhere.
12:30, I think.
Woohoo.
Oh, hang on. Very good.
Yum. Yeah, no, I'm insecure in certain ways.
Isn't everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just try to, yeah. I wouldn't say I'm really shy. Yeah.
Where'd you go from, obviously, Peter Stevens in Adelaide?
Yeah.
I'm going to have that through my mo. Fantastic.
No, you're good.
Good? All right,
Yeah.
thanks. When did you come up here? Up to Queensland? Is it around that era or a bit later?
No. So from Peter Stevens, I went and became went into the insurance broking industry.
Why was that appealing at the time? Make some money.
Yeah, I thought I'd earn more money.
Yep.
And I had people in my ear telling me that a corporate career was the way to go. That, working in a bike store's not going to get me anywhere. Go get a corporate career, and the wrong people talking in my ear. Anyway, went there, earned no money, lost my sponsorship to race.
Where's your sponsorship from?
Peter Stevens.
Oh, really?
So I went
Yep.
from a YZ125 and then I got a brand new 09 CRF 250R.
Yep.
Raced a couple of seasons on that. And then I was like, oh, I'll go get this corporate career and then I'll race on the side. So that way I could, because I was working 6 days a week at the store
Yep.
and then riding on every day I had, like the only day I had off.
Yep.
So I had no break from it and I was burning out a little bit and I just wanted to have riding as something. But I lost my sponsorship when I went into the insurance.
Yep.
And then I couldn't afford to race because I didn't
Right.
have the backing and the help. And So yeah, I did that for a couple of years, and then the ex-boyfriend that I was with at the time was getting transferred to Darwin. So I moved up to Darwin. Did 18 months up there, and then we moved over to Brisbane over here.
Right.
But this was a time before Instagram was a big thing, and I could not find people to ride with. So I trekked my bike everywhere.
Yep.
And I barely rode it here, unfortunately. And if I did, I rode by myself. And it's just devastating because now all of my favourite moto people are up here and I'm not.
Yeah, that must be difficult. So, like, because if you look at your week that you've just had, you've just ridden just random folk, you know. That's one of the positives of social media, isn't it?
Yeah.
That door has opened up to be able to, such and such is riding, let's go do this.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, before MySpace, you couldn't do it. Like, really, it was very, very difficult. You need to have, like, the click. You know, everything was a click.
Yeah, or people you grew up with.
Yeah, yep.
Social media has positive and negatives, of course, just like everything in life.
Yep.
But if it's used properly, it can be a fantastic networking tool.
How long did you stay in insurance for?
7 years.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Was it enjoyable?
Certain aspects of it for sure. Yeah, I had my own portfolio of clients and I felt that it was really rewarding because I helped people.
Yep.
So being a broker, you're working for the person. So you'd come to me and I'd be like, okay, do you own a car? Yep. Motorbikes? Yep. Do you have a house or investment property? Then I'd collate all that information and I'd go out to the market for you, find out what options are for you. I'd assess it, come back to you, and then I'd make sure that everything's insured. And then say you had a car accident, instead of you having to fight to try and get covered or your claim paid, I would then fight for you. So just ring me, okay, give me the details, okay, and then our claims department would do it. So in that aspect, I loved it. When I came to Brisbane, it started becoming a little bit hard for me to manage my Darwin clients. I felt bad that I wasn't even there. So then I transferred into the sports insurance space.
What's that mean?
So we insured like the NRL or sporting teams, athletes, your sporting equipment.
Yep.
It was really, really good. And if I was if my personal life was in a different area, I probably would have stayed in that industry. But it was time for me to get out and have a change of pace.
Now, you said in conversation and that, what was the personal stuff?
So
the basics anyway, you know?
Yeah, I just had a abusive relationship that I was in.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And I just got out of that, which was great, and that gave me the chance to restart my life and have a second chance. And that's why I kind of live my life how I do now.
And this is when you went to Canada?
Yeah.
Well, actually, so you got out of, obviously, insurance.
Yeah.
Relationship as well. Visa?
Yeah. So I one day I just thought, I've always wanted to go to Canada.
So this was completely on a whim?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm going to do this, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, let's just see what the process is.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Application submitted. And then I was sitting there in insurance up in Toowong.
Yep.
The visa came through. I was like, oh, sick. Have no money. Don't even know. Have a visa. I need to get that within a year.
Right.
I can't even afford a plane ticket because I was living week to week. So that's when I moved back to Adelaide.
Wow. So you went back to Adelaide. Did you get into trucking then? Or did
Straight away, yeah.
You did? Yep.
Yeah. Had the job lined up.
Before you went, basically?
Yeah. For years, they'd offered me a work.
Yep.
But I was like, no, I've got to follow this relationship and this career. But I always knew that was a fallback. So, yeah.
You know how a lot of people say, like, things were a waste of time? And I don't sort of like that.
Oh, neither.
Too much?
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. Like, I like, it's sort of, did you learn your lesson? I'm not a fan of that sort of thing too much, right?
Yeah.
Because, maybe there's something out of it, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't a benefit at some point as well or something, you know?
Yeah.
But did it feel good to, like, just move on, get that next phase of your life done?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of years to get over it, though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, a lot of therapy. But I think that from that, I've been able to help a lot of other people as well. You know, like everything, you can turn it negative into a positive.
For sure.
Anything.
Yeah. And
we all learn from situations and stuff and make sure, as long as you make sure you don't fall into the same traps and stuff like that, for sure.
That's, yeah, if you're going to have like that saying of learn your lesson or something, that's the one. If you don't fall into that routine or habit or whatever it may be again, that's the hard.
Yeah, but also if people are saying that shit to you, just get rid of them.
Yeah, move on.
Like if people are saying to you like, oh, you're an idiot for getting yourself in that situation or whatever, cut them out of your life.
Yeah.
You don't need that kind of stuff in your life.
Like, this was the decision I make with the best possible information I have at the time. Basically.
Oh, 100%.
That's how it works.
Oh
like,
my God, yeah. And like we constantly are evolving.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the same person I was a week ago, let alone a year or 10 years ago.
No. Yeah.
And if you are, then there's an issue.
Yeah. You haven't grown.
Yeah.
as a human.
Yeah.
Canada, what was it like?
Unreal.
Did you, like, obviously you've ridden with Brian Farrow this week.
Yes.
Did you meet Brian over there at all?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because those guys did a couple of years over there as well, mountain biking and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so we were talking about that the other night.
Yeah.
They went to Whistler, which is like heaven. I went to Whistler and I got straight out because I was like, I'll never leave because it's the best. Yeah. And I was like, this is a big country. I need to explore more. So I went straight to the border of Alberta and Saskatchewan and went to a cattle ranch, and I spent a little while out there. Beautiful family.
How long did it take you to say Saskatchewan properly?
A while. Yeah. Did I even say it right then? I don't know.
I think you did pretty well.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Working on a ranch?
Yep, cattle, doing calving season.
Had you done that before?
I went to an agricultural high school.
Okay.
So I have a love for that.
Yeah.
But no, not carving. I grew up very quick in those couple of weeks. I saw a lot of things, but great. It was just really, really cold, very isolated, and I wasn't going to meet people. So I ended up leaving there and then went and worked at Gasoline Alley in Kelowna.
That's insane. Yeah.
And that was just from driving through town and popping in and having just having a look around. I was like, I like Harleys.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, what's your story? Told them, just flew over here one way, don't know what my plan is. And they're like, oh, here's our business card if you want a job. So I did. And I spent the whole summer in Kelowna riding Harleys. Well, because I had no money as well. I went to Canada with nothing. And the benefit of that is that I got to take different bikes home every night and test ride them. And I got a real feel for the whole range of bikes.
Yep.
And then from that, I formed really beautiful relationships and friendships with people. And then that led to bike trips and future jobs. And that's my second home. I call it my stepmotherland.
Yep.
I miss it a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
What were some of the good bike trips?
Yeah. We did one where there was no Harleys available, so I had to hire a GSXF 750.
Yep.
Everyone else is on road glides with heated seats and grips and the whole lot, and I'm on this little... we went from where we were, just north of the border.
Yep.
We went down into Washington, Idaho, across like Coeur d'Alene. Is that right? Something like that. And then up through the border, through the mountains, into Nelson and back. So that was cool, but the whole trip rained.
Wow.
The whole trip. And then when we got over the border, we got stuck in a mountain pass in a blizzard. So I was one of the first ones up the top of the mountain because I was on this tiny little zippy thing.
Yep.
And I'm at the top filming, laughing. I'm like, oh my God, it's snowing. Everyone's like, what are you doing? Keep going. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, we need to keep going. Like, whatever you do, don't touch your brakes, this and that. And so I thought it was a hell of a joke. And then all of a sudden it blacks out. Cars are sliding all down the mountain. And we all survived, but it was intense. But that was a pretty cool trip. One of those things of like, no good story comes out of riding the best bike in the perfect conditions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the whole time I'm riding, I'm just remembering, this is going to be a great story. But yeah, did that and some beautiful big roads all through British Columbia. We used to do like big all-day rides.
Yep.
It's just different over there because you can ride all day and never pass the same roads and go all through different mountains and stuff like that. So shout out to my homies over there because I miss them so much, and just a great, great group, really wholesome people, very accepting.
Will you get back over there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day.
What was it like working in the store there?
Yeah, it was good. It was just a really beautiful way to meet people.
Yep.
I had to change my accent a bit.
You did?
Yeah. Like I didn't, it was subconscious, but it's funny. I'll talk to my friends now and they're like, man, you sound so Australian. I was like, what do you mean? But I'd be saying things and people would be like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm saying the same thing as you.
It's English.
Yeah, but in Australia, we everything that ends in ER, we say like winter, thicker. So I'd be like talking about a winter coat and they're like, so what? I'm like, oh, winter. Like, because they actually pronounce ER.
Yep.
But no, it was good. It was more the connections and people. It was a wild summer. I don't know how any of us survived really, but it was
As in like a party summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep. And good place to party?
The crew we had that summer was unreal. And yeah, I'm still friends with Brad who runs the store over there. And yeah, I think that summer was just a unique, great crew.
Yep.
Yeah. And just getting to ride bikes. I was so lucky.
Why'd you come home?
Money. Nah.
Partially.
Yeah, I came back with $30 in my account.
Well done.
My sister was getting married, so
Okay.
I came home for that.
So is that sister, older sister?
I'm the eldest, so
you're the
the third one down, Jasmine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you come home,
Yeah.
find a job straight away?
Yeah, I just went straight back to Hanson.
No, fine. All
They
good?
kept me on their books, so I kept as a permanent casual. So whenever I come home, I had a job.
That's unreal.
Yeah, and then I was like thinking, well, in Canada, although I loved it, it's a hard lifestyle. The money you don't earn, the minimum wage is a lot lower. So I was like, I'll come back to Australia, earn some good, well, decent money,
Yep.
and then I'll just go back every year. And then a pesky thing called the pandemic hit, and here I am.
So you had plans just to do that, you know?
Yeah, I
back
just
and
wanted
forth?
to live like so unrealistic, but like the idea of like 9 months in Australia, 3 in Canada.
Yep.
But hasn't happened yet.
The part about it's not unrealistic, hey? At some
No,
point. Now it is, but
it was, but everyone has a choice of how they want to live their life and what they want it to look like. And people get too trapped. It's very easy to do, but we all get trapped in a certain type of lifestyle that we think we have to live.
yeah.
And that's why I don't want to fall victim to having the lifestyle creep of like having to have this beautiful house and then all these things and then having to work to just pay to keep that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go in a bit of a different direction, but I have the freedom to do that because I'm by myself.
Explain that to me, that lifestyle.
Like the lifestyle creep.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people feel pressure. I think everyone sees success differently. And so a lot of people hold a lot of, like, they're very proud to have this house and this thing or this family and this kid and, because I've got this, I'm more successful than you.
Yep.
It's like a massive thing I'm dealing with at the moment.
Yep.
And I'm so happy for people who are going through that. And if that makes you, if that sparks joy, I'm so happy for you. It's just not me at the moment.
It's an interesting one and you do see it and have the conversations about it with different people as well. I get it. And a couple of people, we were mountain biking Monday.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, good for some. I got a couple of minutes. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I worked for the weekend. I worked at night. Just because
People
I
are
want to
so
take a
quick
choice.
to judge.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Just because I want to take a choice to ride on a Monday or whatever doesn't mean that it's good for some
Yeah.
And
Everyone
that's-
has the opportunity to do it.
to do it. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's an interesting one. But
I'm a massive supporter of people being successful, people achieving things and living life how they want to.
Chase it.
If you're genuine about how you're living your life
Yep.
and it genuinely brings you joy, I'm so happy for you. But don't shit on other people because they're doing something that you wish you were.
That's what it comes down to.
Like the tall poppy syndrome drives me bonkers.
Do you see that more in Australia than when you were over in Canada? Or is it just the
I
same?
think everywhere. I think people are just sour.
Yep.
People just, they're getting these, like I'm all for relationships if you're happy, but people get caught in these relationships and this and that they're not happy in and they like think that that's all and then they start ragging on other people for living a certain lifestyle. It's like we all have the opportunity to be happy.
Yep.
Just be genuine and authentic in yourself. If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just tick your own box. If you're happy with that, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just tick your own box. And if you're not happy, just be not happy.
And surround yourself with people that, support you.
What was your Supercross trip that you did over in the States?
I've done a couple. Yep.
Tell me about them.
The first one I went down to the Monster Energy Cup. And that was unreal. That was the year that Marvin Muskin won the Mill. So that was unreal. And I was, again, just like right place, right time. And got into a corporate box with some really cool people who raced actually quads in the nationals and stuff like that. It was just so random.
So how does that happen?
I have a friend. It's just
life.
Just meeting one person who introduces you to another, and you're just in the right place, the right time. And I'm always who I am. I'm just myself, and you either like it or you don't. And then if you meet people you vibe with, it just opens up other opportunities. And the second time I flew over and flew into Detroit, and we hopped in a car and drove straight from Detroit all the way across America down to, it might have been another Monster Energy Cup.
Down to Vegas?
Yeah, through Colorado, and then up through Arizona straight over to LA, and then down, and I flew out. So I think it was 10 days.
Yeah, nice road trip.
9 states, 8 days, or something crazy like that. But yeah, I do love Supercross. I follow it pretty closely now.
Yeah, I can't believe, like, we're talking before the show. So you watch motocross every weekend?
Supercross, yeah.
Or even the moto recently?
No, I haven't been able to. No, life
hard.
got a bit busy, but Supercross was perfect because when I was West Coast, I could go riding in the morning, clean up, sit down with a beer,
relax,
and watch I felt like such a loser by myself every Sunday. East Coast was a little bit harder, but I followed it really closely this year. It was really great.
Who's your favourite rider?
Jet Lawrence at the moment. Oh, look, there's a few, but I'd say Jet at the moment is standing out to me.
Who's the other?
I love like Dean Wilson. I don't know, anyone that's I think's genuine about themselves and they're who they are. But I like Jet because you can just tell he's not trying to be something that people think they want him to be. That doesn't make sense, yeah.
He's just vibrant. He's a vibrant character. Like,
it's good for the sport.
It's unreal.
I don't like it when you see people trying to be what their sponsors want them to be, or and you're like, where's your personality at? Like, yeah, you might be able to ride a bike sick, but like, who are you?
What do you think of Eli?
I don't have an opinion.
Like Eli Tomac is my favourite rider.
Oh, really?
I love Eli Tomac, but I don't know. He's very straighty 180, right?
Okay.
But I just like his conviction. Mm-hmm. If he says, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just very to the point. Mm-hmm. There's just no BS with him. He's pretty. I don't know. I've always liked Eli Tomac, and as a rider, when he's on fire, I love watching Eli Tomac as well.
Yeah, true.
When he's on the Cowie, I even liked him more.
Okay.
Because I love Kawasaki's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see Jet and Hunter coming through now.
Yeah.
As an Australian, it's unreal.
It's very interesting watching them race side by side as well. Their technique is so close.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
The genetics, eh?
Yeah.
Like, it's like genetic
But their
technique.
Personalities are so different.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So,
it's like me and my sisters.
really?
It's funny.
It's strange. Do you reckon is Jet stepping up 450, do you know?
I heard something about that. Yeah.
He's riding well.
Oh, it's so good to watch.
Yeah.
I love watching outdoors more.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just feel like, especially in person, Supercross looks better on, from my experience, I enjoy watching Supercross on the TV more.
Yep.
Because when you're there, it's just like, you kind of lose track of who's where.
For sure.
Whereas the TV will point you in the right direction of who you should be watching.
I heard a commentator say it once about rugby league, and this is the same with Supercross. Mm-hmm. It's something that's really built for TV.
Yeah.
Like, it's built in a stadium in a rectangle.
Yeah.
Or basically like a TV.
Yeah.
Good in person, but the TV is the best place to view that, apart from the atmosphere. But motocross going to an outdoor, total different
I'd love to go to Donations, and I'd love to go watch it in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, I just think the fans just get behind it so much. I just think it would be such a vibe.
Redbud's on in 6 weeks' time. Oh. That would be pretty tempting.
I should probably renew my passport.
Yeah. Well, I know we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, because our Donations team is a healthy team.
Yeah, fire.
So we should be all right.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Now, are you doing any racing nowadays?
No. I might.
What took you away from that, apart from, obviously, money's a thing, but
yeah.
Do you like the competitive side?
Oh, yeah, I'm very competitive, yeah. Yeah. I can't help it. I get really excited. I'll be like, oh, I'll just go out for a cruise. And then you see something like, oh, I wonder if I'm faster than them and stuff like that. But I don't know if I do motocross again. I think the risk to reward's not really there for me. I probably do enduros just because of the properties that are opened up to you through the off-roads. But I'm just loving just having a good time, just coming to fun events.
Yep.
It's more so the people I meet. But yeah, I maybe I'll race. I probably, I will see.
So you just bought a Husky this year?
I did.
Love it?
Love it. Yeah, I got the 350.
Why'd you get the 350? Did you ride the 250 and the 4? Or
No?
Just want the 350?
So Gemma Wilson's a good friend of mine, and a few years ago I came up for Day in the Dirt, rode her bikes, and that's when I was like, oh, I really like the 350. I'm pretty sure I rode a 350 then. And the 152 straight, that was a really fun bike.
It's a cool bike.
Real little, like easy to throw around.
Yep.
But all my mates ride KTM 350s or 450s.
Yep.
I thought 250s is more for juniors, and I want something that's like, I might have to change the gearing on my 350 anyway. It tops out a little bit too much on the roads.
Yep.
But yeah, I just thought better resale value as well.
Yeah, pretty popular.
Yeah.
Definitely pretty popular.
Yeah.
I did the Husky media launch last year for the 22s.
Yeah.
And got to ride the 250, 350, 450, 501 Enduros.
Okay.
So I got a good chance to be on everything. That 250, if it wasn't so heavy, is awesome. Gee, the 250 was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I loved
Okay.
it. And I at the time I owned the FE 450.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is such a cool bike.
So it's just, do you mean do you say it's heavy?
No,
the
it's just
250?
light.
Oh, the light.
So light.
Yeah.
The power was good.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit heavy for the 250.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the 250s heavy. I'm like,
No, I'm a bit like.
Could you change the springs though?
Oh, you can change
Stiffen
the
it up
springs
a
and
bit?
that, but like if you're going to do like big, like I do, I have an adventure tour business.
Ah, fun.
A lot of it's bigger sort of fire trail Ks.
Yeah.
You just top out.
Well, that's what I
quick.
found yesterday when I went riding with Gemma.
Yep.
You just feel like you're ringing it a bit too much.
Yep.
Through the forests or like on the roads, and I was like, oh, love an extra gear. You keep going to find the next.
You need
gear
a
and
seventh.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I think I need to change the teeth on this sprocket. But.
Yeah, and that'll help. Like those 350s, they're just like the perfect size.
I took it to QMP on Saturday? Was it? Yeah, Saturday for
Saturday.
the dust hustle. Perfect to throw around a motocross track,
Yep.
and it actually jumped all right. Like, don't look at photos; I'll probably look terrible, but it felt safe in the air. And then you can go and do the trails or beach riding like yesterday. It's just so versatile. I wanted something that could do motocross and enduro.
Yep.
And cover that.
Would you race Finke?
Oh, you need to have a big support team.
Yes.
And network.
Yep.
I'd probably want to go pre-run it a few times, and I think I'm too competitive and I'd suck. So I'd probably start trying to ride outside of my abilities. I would rather just go and support my friends.
Yeah.
But I really want to go up and pre-run it.
So you would like to ride it at least?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Plan is to go back next year?
Hopefully.
So who were you with this year? Billy Geddes
Yep.
is one.
Yeah.
How did you end up with his truck? Like, because he's up from up north Queensland.
Yeah, he's from Rockhampton.
Rockhampton.
Yep.
Did he drive to Adelaide or something? How'd that all come?
No. So we met at Finke in 2016.
Yep.
And we just kept in contact, kept friends, and he knows about my driving with trucks, and he drove it from Rocky to Alice Springs. I drove my car up to Alice Springs, and we met up there and spent a week getting everything ready.
Yep.
And then I drove that with a few of the other guys in convoy down to the Finke end at Arachula, and set up. And it was fantastic. So much fun.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering about that because I'm like, I know Billy's from Rocky.
Yeah.
Like, how did you drive the truck?
No.
Did you get to there, but it's already there, then you drove it out to Finke?
So he brought it over as a road train. And so that's why he wanted me, because I got my road train license.
Yep.
But then we dropped one of the trailers and just took a single down.
Okay.
And then, we just set this really great group of people. Just big little satellite city. Kind of down there. It was just such a good, I just love being around those people. They just make me really happy and I just feel comfortable.
How was it camping at Finke on Sunday night?
Oh, easy. Love
Good
it.
night?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think, I probably went to bed really early because I was just snacking.
I can imagine it'd be a big day because
but also you're stressed about are your friends going to make it down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more than the physical side of it on the sideline.
Yeah.
The mental side of your friends, worrying about what's in the truck. We got this thing, like, there's a lot to it, hey?
Yeah, so we drive down the night before the race starts.
Yep.
So we're already down there. So that night was really calm. We're all just sitting around, like, once we're set up, it was all, like, just calm. And then the next day we're looking at our clocks and we're like, okay, so-and-so's left.
Yep.
And then we're like, okay, wait. And then we're like, okay, should be coming down now. Like, and we're all like, didn't know who was going to come over the line and stuff like that. So it's just like, yeah. So a few of the guys got through, which was great results. And then Billy didn't.
Yep.
And we're like, Billy should be here. Where is he? And like, there's no phone reception, no intel of where he could be. And unfortunately, Billy lost a tyre about 30, or a wheel about 30 Ks out. So the boys, like in our team, they had to rush out and try and get it back. And then the track got closed because the bikes had started. So then they got caught out there.
Yeah.
So I felt so helpless. There's nothing I can do.
Yep.
But everyone at Finke has a job. So if you just stick in your lane, so my job was solely get the semi down, get the semi back.
Yep.
And there's nothing else I could really do.
Right.
So I felt really helpless. But it's good. I recommend Finke to anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Don River?
No, and I really want to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to try or? Like,
yeah, I'll have a look. It's just hard with my shift work.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like September 10, it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd have to fly up the morning of and fly back Monday.
seriously?
Yeah.
So you'd have to fly into Proserpine.
Yeah, but there's no direct flights from Adelaide.
See Brisbane.
Probably.
Yeah, okay. It's turning pretty logistical nightmare.
Look, I might try next year.
Yep.
I just need to, after this trip, go back, knuckle down for a bit.
Yep.
Help the team out at work. I don't want to just up and leave them again.
Nah.
Yeah, but no, Don River sounds like an absolute vibe because Finke is a logistical nightmare and everyone's split up, where it sounds like Don River, everyone's together.
Yeah, it's
and
base camp.
Yeah, and everyone's going, like all the partners and stuff, where Finke it's kind of like families all can't go, it's just too much.
Yep.
Whereas Don River, it sounds like everyone's there. And especially after this week, I'm like, oh no, like.
And then you're like, the thing I like about it, so we went last year.
Yeah.
Awesome event. There's a base camp. Everyone's there. Mm-hmm. Heaps of spectator points.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from base camp.
Yeah.
So you could get heaps of different vantage points. Then they come back the other way right in front of you.
Yeah.
So you get to see that. Or if you're filming like me, you can work in different points. And then you're at the Whitsundays.
I know. How
so
good.
Like, Sunday afternoon comes around, race is done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to gradually cruise my way back home. As such, like it's Alice Springs as a haul, like to get there and back, which I understand it's iconic and everything, but to be at the base, like at the Whitsundays, pretty good spot to have a race.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic, and I'm excited that people are starting to talk about it more because in the past I never even knew about it. Before this Finke this year, I didn't know about Don River.
Wow.
So now that people are talking about it more, maybe that can become a bit bigger.
I think it will.
I think there's a lot of off-road events that just aren't talked about that people should probably...
Just need props up.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind trying to race Don River.
Yeah. Ben was saying to me yesterday, you should race the Don River to me. I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I'll film the Don River.
See, that's the thing. I'm saying that I'd like to race it, but I should probably, if I want to, just go and race it the first time, because you know how you can psych yourself out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, just go suss it. And then you're like...
Yeah.
But Billy says it's really harsh on your equipment, so maybe I'll just use that as an excuse not to do it.
Yeah, it's too hard on the equipment.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No.
Why'd you buy a Fat Bob?
Oh, okay. So I was riding all the different bikes in Gasoline.
Canada? Yep.
And that's when they released all the 2018 models, and they released this new Fat Bob. It was a completely different look.
Yep.
Different specs, so shorter, higher, better weight ratio. I was one of the first people to ride it when it landed, so we're one of the first stores to get it, and it was just a game changer. It handled so well. I could throw it around a lot better. It just suited me to a T. So when I decided to move back to Australia, I was like, if I'm going to buy a bike, or if I'm moving back to Australia, I'm going to buy a Fat Bob. So I did that within the first 3 weeks of moving back.
Damn, straight into it.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
How many Ks you got on it now?
Nearly 14,000.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Explain your week to me. So what gave you the idea of doing this week?
Oh, this week?
Yeah.
I just want to come see my friends.
So you've got a RAV4?
I do have a RAV4.
RAV4?
Yeah.
Trailer?
Yeah. Which we found in my neighbour's paddock a week before.
trailer?
Yeah, before I came up, yeah.
Oh, so because there was a time that you were thinking about not bringing Fat Bob.
Yeah.
Ah, so trailer, bikes.
Yep.
So mountain bike.
Yep.
Dirt bike.
Yep.
Harley.
Yeah.
Is that the best week ever?
Yeah.
Yep.
How could it be bad?
So, yeah, how did it come about? Did you just hit a few people up and say you want to go riding, or did you just...
I just knew that I'd come regardless and I'd just figure it out.
Yep.
I just thought if I rock up, if people can ride, if people can hang out, cool. If not, I'll just ride by myself.
Yep.
So I drove up over my weekend. So I finished work on the Friday, hopped straight in my car, drove just a couple of hours up the road, and then Saturday, Sunday flat out here.
Yep.
Parked my car at a friend's house and my trailer, and then flew straight back to work, worked the week, and then flew straight back up for my week here. And when I landed, everyone was busy, so I just pulled the bob out and went riding tambourine. Yeah. I just said, hey, boys, like, where can I go? And they're like, oh, if you follow this and left, you get you up the mountains. So I did, and then, yeah, it's exactly what I thought. Like, I have to be independent. I have to be, I don't want to have to rely on anyone. Yep. So I thought, well, by bringing my own bikes, I'm not relying on anyone. If people are around, then, yeah. So it's just worked out really well, and just told people I'm coming, and people have just, if they're available, it's been fantastic.
How'd you enjoy mountain biking? On Monday.
It was great.
It's a good day?
Yeah, no. It was really fun. I'm just like, my calf muscles are a bit sore still.
Yeah. You poor thing. So we went out Monday mountain biking, 3 e-bikes, 1 non-motorised bike, which was you.
Yeah, shout out the Norco.
Yeah, shout out the Norco. And got some good advice to don't worry about bringing water because we're on e-bikes. And
you won't need water. You'll be right.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it was a good day though, hey?
Yeah. Just good group of people.
Yep.
Yeah. I only got into mountain biking when the pandemic hit.
Oh, really? So you didn't do any of that over
Never.
in Canada? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. How's that?
Yeah.
Didn't even hit. I couldn't afford it over in Canada. But yeah, I just bought a $400 bike from a neighbour and just started riding and love it. Yeah.
So you've really fallen into that now, hey?
Yeah, it's just, I think it goes hand in hand with moto.
Yep.
Yep. So if you don't have a moto crew to ride with, you can go mountain biking for free. And we've got some great trails and tracks down in Adelaide.
Like close to where you are?
Yeah, Fox Creek bike park's right near my house.
Yeah, right.
And I love shuttles. So that's the thing, I'm used to riding downhill only.
Yeah, not cross country. Yeah, no shuttle. It's, it's not summer yet, but Monday was pretty hot.
She was warm.
Yeah, it was a warm day.
Sweating.
Especially no water. Day in the dirt 3 years ago.
Yeah.
When you're up with Gemma.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah.
Was that the first day in the dirt or the second, do you know?
The second.
Okay, so a bit quieter than the first.
So, yeah, that's what I hear. But I felt like the second was pretty wild. It was for me.
It still was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty drunk back then.
Were you living up here or
No.
you were down home?
Yep, just flew up with a gear bag.
Really?
Yeah.
And rode Gemma's bikes?
Yeah, and my mate Stuart Willits lent me, I can't remember, like an old school 2-stroke 125, I think. Yeah, it was killer, like sick bike, and that's when I rode that on the Dust Hustle. Dust Hustle had a little track there.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so I rode Gemma's bikes out on the main tracks, and then Dust Hustle I rode the old 125 and had it blast, and then that's when I got into the Dust Hustle thing, and that's why I fly back up. Normally I just fly up for Dust Hustle and borrow bikes.
That little track they had at Day in the Dirt,
yes.
The second one, the Dust Hustle one,
that
was awesome.
Yeah, down the bottom.
Yeah, it was just a fun little track.
Yeah,
big hook turn at the end. And that's good fun.
I remember I was riding, like Emma McFerrin was riding Harley on that, and I've got photos of like hers. She's jumping right behind me, and like just 2 completely different bikes, and I was like, hey, like. This is why I ride bikes. Like, this is the kind of vibe I want, and this is the kind of lifestyle that I'm chasing now.
Yep.
It's like, I don't want ego. I don't care how many championships you've won or this and that. We all love bikes for the same reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what Dust Hustle kind of brings everyone together on an even playing field.
I was going to ask you about that. What's your thoughts on Dust Hustle? Like, and that's basically the most of it. There's zero ego, hey?
Just see it. Yeah, no one cares. I go there and I don't know who anyone is. Yep. You're just another person on the track with me, and I feel like that's kind of what's good about it. Brings everyone back to why we started riding in the first place. So I love that everyone's wearing costumes and just trying to take the piss, really.
So CJ, is CJ your nicknamed anyway? Like,
Yes.
it is?
Yeah, most people know me as CJ.
So you dressed up as CJ from Baywatch, obviously, for this Dust Hustle.
Yes, I did.
Where'd the idea come from?
Oh, because people always like paid, CJ Parker.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it literally came from that?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, well, let's play this up a little bit. I got a blonde wig and the bathers and the whole lot.
Good time?
Oh, yeah. I was pretty embarrassed. I nearly didn't do it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Very, very interesting event.
Yes.
This year was dustiest one
Oh, yeah.
like I've been to,
Yeah.
but there was mud, which was weird.
I loved the grass track.
Grass track was sick.
It was so much fun because the ground was quite loamy.
Yeah, it
and
was
you could
great.
just throw yourself into the corners and just knew it was going to grip up and take you out.
Yep.
Whereas the natural terrain track, you couldn't really give it any because it just would slide out.
Yep.
I love ruts.
Okay.
I love like being able to throw yourself into them. So
Yep.
when they started banking up on that grass track, I was like, oh, here we go. We're on.
But in that right-hand corner, through that section, left, right, in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Or even just, when you come down the back and it was like there was a tree
Yep.
and you had to really hook it before just smacking. I love that.
That's good.
Like
Yeah.
I love tight techie stuff. I'm not a very fast rider because I'm aware of like risk versus reward.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, the faster you go, you're really going to mess up. So I love like tight techie stuff.
And they had that back section through there.
Yeah.
It was the first session in the morning, so I was on risky road bikes.
Oh, yes.
First session in the morning, risky road bikes down there. That mud was just so soft. I don't think anyone got through.
Really?
It was a car park. No
Oh,
joke.
I didn't even see it. And you would have been struggling on that because you were Pan.
Not at the start. I rode the tracker.
Oh.
And yeah. So I got into it. The tyres just went
Yeah.
and filled up.
Oh, no.
And Crystal from here got bogged in there. I got bogged in there. The 2 Pan Ams got tipped on their side down there.
Man, I was at the wrong spot.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was exciting. And it was like, it wasn't even like crashes. Mm-hmm. It was stationary. Like you go to put your foot down and it's so slippery.
And then did the bikes get really heavy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Well, thanks for paving the way for me so I could just come in and have a good time. Yeah.
But once we got through that session, the track was it was good down there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And good dust hustle. A very good dust hustle.
Yeah. I wish the Harley would come, the boys on the Harleys, that was always a good time as well when they came there, but there was none this year.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Brian
The flat trackers or whatever.
Brian and
Yeah.
So he's got his for sale or
Yeah,
it's
there's a
sold
raffle.
or
If anyone wants one, definitely buy some tickets.
Shout out.
Shout out, yeah.
So-
I seen it the other day when I went up to Rick's garage.
It's tidy, hey?
Oh my God, he's put a lot of effort into that bike. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So like Brian is getting rid of his tracker, obviously
Yep.
the raffle. At one point there was 23 when we started doing it 2 years ago for the V-Twin Hooligans.
Yeah.
There's 23 bikes built, I think.
Oh, so many people put so much effort into it. It was a really
Now they're
good
not
time.
around.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Apparently it's the same in America.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
really slowing down over there as well. But ebbs and flows will all come back.
It'll come back
Yeah.
for sure. The bikes are still around. The wheel sets are around.
Yeah.
It's just the thing I look at is you just need to host events to get people.
Yeah.
If you don't have an
was
event,
it Build It and They Will Grow? No, not.
build it, they will come.
Yeah, something like that.
Wayne's World, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was book them, they will come, or something, or build it, they will come. But that's exactly true. Like you just need to have consistent events.
But it's like dust hustle as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, no one's really thought of this kind of style before.
No way.
I wish we had this down home.
Can you do it down home?
Maybe. I don't know. You'd need the right people to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really part of the bike community down at home at the moment.
I think the thing with Dust Hustle, what makes Dust Hustle good, is the people.
100%.
Like, you look at Leo, Huon, Steve,
Yeah.
like the people behind Ella Speed.
Yeah.
The people that have that and the crew that they've built around them, their friends and family and that.
Just
That's
dead
what makes
set
it.
legends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stay in contact with them all year. I come
Yeah.
up once a year, stay in contact all year, and I just always feel so welcomed and accepted.
100%. And, you could have an event that was identical.
Yeah.
You could copy the format, risky road bikes, whatever it may be. But without them, it's very,
I couldn't agree more.
makes it
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
What else you got planned for the future?
Oh, I'm at a bit of a crossroads at the moment with that. I'm not sure.
Shut that down.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Like, I set myself goals
Yep.
always, and I'm in a goal setting process now of like what's next because I've kind of reached everything that I've set for myself.
Wow.
yeah, just work hard. I want to get back to Canada. Wouldn't mind traveling a little bit more. But yeah, just reassessing at the moment. Open to suggestions.
How was your day yesterday?
Oh my gosh, Gemma and I had the best time.
So you went out with Gemma Wilson.
I did.
Who's been on this.
Yeah.
Where did you go? Rainbow
So,
Beach?
I met up with her. She lives just out of Gympie.
Yep.
So I drove up there yesterday morning and then we rode from her house out to Rainbow. Yep. I did a few trails, came to a creek that we tried to cross and drowned a bike.
So the photo of you in the creek.
Yes.
Is it that one?
Yes.
That looked pretty deep.
Yeah.
It was like a tea tree creek or something.
Oh my God, yeah. I've never experienced a tea tree stained creek.
So it was, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like bright red.
Yep.
It was incredible.
So what happened?
So Gemma walked through it and she's like measuring up. Yeah, no, she'll be right. So she went first with her two-stroke, went through and it just bogged down. And I'm filming it like, oh, this is great. And then next thing in the footage, you just see the camera get thrown and run after. And we got it out and we managed to, not much water got really in.
Yep.
So we just kind of like made some phone calls and just let it dry out. And then she came good and we weren't going to risk putting my bike through.
Yep.
So then we had to split up. I had no idea where I was. But as I said to Gemma at the time, I was like, it'll all work out. It's fine. Like no bad times. We'll figure this. And so then we like took 2 different trails and met up. And then we rode Rainbow Beach, which was so beautiful.
Yep.
And I didn't have a GoPro. My phone was flat. This is a story of my trip. I have got barely any photos or videos of this whole time.
Yep.
But it's just one of those in the moments, which is probably better. And then, yeah, just riding through pine forests, riding through like natural bush. It was, yeah, amazing. She is just one of the best people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't attest more to that. And just obviously knows her way around there really, really well.
It's interesting because she's like, I've lived here like my whole life and I've probably ridden these trails twice.
That's weird, eh?
But it's a story. Like,
But she's still got it down pretty pat.
Everyone needs to remember to explore their own backyard.
Yep.
No matter where you live, there's going to be beauty around. And we sometimes just get so caught up in our everyday that we forget that.
Yep.
So yesterday was a perfect example of us just getting out and exploring around her home. But that's beautiful, beautiful country up there.
Do you know if you did that King's Ball loop? Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
It looked like it in
Yep.
one of the videos.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So we went out there 2 years ago and thought, oh, yep, this would be good. There used to be a trail that used to be able to get back down onto the beach. Might be back now.
Yeah.
And got there.
Is that the real steep one?
Yeah, and it was just, the erosion just chopped it completely away
Yeah.
the last time I was up there.
Yeah.
So like, we're going to need more fuel. So, because you can get really caught out up there.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
Did you get caught out up there?
So when we started riding Rainbow Beach towards,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's where we
It
went
would be,
to.
yep.
We stopped to take a photo of the bikes, and thank God we did, because at the moment when we were taking the photos, we realised we were nearly empty on fuel.
Yep.
So we quickly turned around, went back into Rainbow, filled up,
Yep.
and we still managed to run out of fuel.
You did?
Yeah.
On the two-stroke? Or
On the
both?
two-stroke.
On the
So
two-stroke,
we were
yep.
about 500 metres away from Gemma's house, and we had to do the whole, I was riding, she was holding onto the camel pack
Yep.
and pulling up.
Damn. Yeah,
They're thirsty.
Yeah, yep.
Real,
yeah.
but also Gemma's like, "Rah,"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
everywhere.
"Brr." So
350 is really actually quite efficient, you know.
I'm
So
really surprised. Yeah.
the group, the riding group I've got with the adventures and that, we got a 330k Saturday coming up 2 weeks time, up that way.
I'm like, maybe it can.
So it's going to be a fuel burner, I can tell. So
And is it up there? Did you say?
partially up there? Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That'd be sick. So does everyone bring their own bikes?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone's on their own bikes.
We're gonna have to talk about this after. I'm gonna
So-
have to try and come up for one.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's really good. So
Yeah.
it's this one's like a monster day basically, because
Okay.
Father's Day Sunday, a lot of the crew want to get home and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
So 330k on a day, it's going to break some, I reckon.
I reckon that might be around how much we did yesterday.
It's a huge day.
We were up, I got up there at 7:30 and we got home at dark.
Damn.
Yeah, but that sounds like a great day.
It'd be good.
And is it lots of sand?
Yeah, lots of sand.
Yeah,
Mostly
fun.
sand. Mostly sand. A few of those are sort of lined tracks. Like
Yeah.
King's Ball's got a little bit of tree lining up the end.
Yep.
A
I think, yeah, it's like real tight with the
little
trail.
bit of tree stuff coming through and that.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
so
nice. Yep.
they caught me out a few times,
The trees?
like the
The
stumps,
yeah.
like the roots.
Yeah.
You're like just flying and whoa.
Yeah, that's not fun.
like, holy mo- and like going up, there was a fire track. I don't know how you describe the terrain, but real
Yep.
steep. Same thing. You're just trying to go as fast as you can.
Yep.
Hit a root, and then you realize it just drops off to your side.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's dirt
It's
biking.
part of the hobby, isn't it?
Like, yeah, you don't want to ride a perfect flat track. That's boring. You want a few little obstacles.
That's right. You want to go and test yourself a bit. You don't want to be out of your depth, but you want to test yourself a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So when do you go home?
Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Any plans for the rest of the time up here? Just chill out?
Just chill today, hopefully.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll go do something tonight. And then tomorrow my mum flies into town.
Yep.
Because I was realistic that I'm going to be absolutely cooked by the end of this week.
Yep.
And the drive home will be tough. So she's flying up, and then, first thing Saturday morning we'll start the drive home.
Yep.
And just tour up the whole way back.
Awesome.
So I'm very, very grateful for mum doing that. I've got a very supportive family.
It seems it.
Yeah. They might not agree with everything I do, but they support it.
Yep.
I don't really, might go for a Harley ride this afternoon.
Yep.
Actually, maybe take the dirt bike. I don't know. Just
whatever.
see who's around, what's going on.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I've pretty much achieved everything that I set out for this trip.
No, it's so cool. And you share my podcast a lot.
I do.
Which I truly appreciate as well.
Yeah.
You obviously listen to it in the truck, which is
always.
Which is cool.
I think that you're fantastic. You create beautiful conversation.
Thank you.
And it's really like easy to listen to. And I think I'm an exception to this because I'm a nobody, but like listening to some incredible stories of people is really inspiring as well.
Well, it was a bit of a different one today. Like when I approached you to come on, I wanted to hear about trucking. I wanted to hear about your time in Canada, and people's stories is like the original concept when we started talking about it here was it just needs to be everybody. Everyone's got something. And like you said about these events, you chuck a helmet on pretty much, we're all the same people.
Oh, 100%.
It don't matter who you are. So genuinely appreciate you coming in and being part of it.
Thank you.
And being a listener and sharing it. That's a huge thing. So thanks
I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, for sure.
And we'll have to try and tee up more rides in the future.
Yes, please. That'd be amazing.
That's all we have time for on today's show. If you get the chance, head over to YouTube and hit subscribe on the Talk and Chatter page. Also, head over to iTunes and give us a star rating and a review there. It all helps to get the podcast out there. A big thank you goes to everyone that's been doing this already, and we'll be back with another show soon.